Hello, good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is doing well today. My name is Vanessa, and I am here today for your energetic update of the new Trecena in the Mexica or Aztec calendar. Today, we not only have a new Trecena, which is a 13-day period, but we also have a new veintena, which is a 20-day period. And the veintenas are like months. The trecenas are like weeks, more or less. It's similar, right? If we want to compare it to the Gregorian calendar. So this means it's an energy of new beginnings. We're also still under the influence of the new moon in Leo. So there's lots of energy for newness, for new beginnings, for starting new ventures and new projects. And the exciting thing about this Trecena is that because this Trecena begins on the first day of the new veintena, it's all about beginnings. This first day of the 13-day period influences the energy of the next 13 days as well. And one of the beautiful things that I found in aligning with the calendar, with the Mexica calendar, or honestly, if you connect with any other ancient calendar, if you work with the Mayan calendar, whatever calendar you feel more called to or aligned to, is that when you begin to pay attention to the energy of these days and start calling in those energies in your daily existence, in your daily interactions, you begin to align with the energies of the universe. And that's a really awesome place to be in, if you ask me, because you get to really tap into what's truly going on. You get to hear the whispers of the universe. You get to hear the whispers of nature, of Mother Earth, of the birds, of everything that's happening around you. And that's really interesting, because then you start to flow instead of resisting, instead of constantly fighting what is, right? You can simply flow in the energies. So these next 13 days are ruled by the energy of Ce Cipactli. And Cipactli is the main character, or one of the main characters, of the creation story of the Mexica or Aztec people. So the story is that the last sun, the last period of existence, ended with a flood, and all that was left was water and Cipactli. The Cipactli is a mythical creature that is, I believe, part dragon, part serpent maybe, but there are so many different animals in one. So it's a mythical creature. And it was undefeated. The different gods and deities had tried to beat Cipactli and none were successful. So the great god, the one, Ometeo, the creator, sends two of his sons, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl, to defeat Cipactli. And they decide to come up with a plan and Tezcatlipoca says, all right, well, I am going to chop off my foot and throw it in the water, and that will cause Cipactli to come out, because it's not going to it's not going to give up the opportunity to get some fresh meat, right? So Cipactli comes up to the water, and that's where Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca decide to attack. Quetzalcoatl gets on Cipactli's back, but Cipactli is very strong and Quetzalcoatl can't do it alone, so Tezcatlipoca jumps in, and the two take this mythical creature, they fight it and split it apart, and this is the beginning of this new world. This is the beginning of this creation. So the top part of Cipactli becomes the upper world, becomes the heavens and the earth, and the bottom part of Cipactli becomes the underworld. And that is how this existence is created. So what ends up happening is that Quetzalcoatl delivers the last blow in defeating Cipactli and gets all the credit for it, whereas Tezcatlipoca doesn't. And Tezcatlipoca is the smoking mirror, he is the shadow, right? They're Nahuales, who are the ones that actually fight Cipactli. Their spirit animals are Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, and Tezcatlipoca, the black jaguar. And so Tezcatlipoca represents the shadow world, and Quetzalcoatl is the light. And so this creates this battle between Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca. There's this conflicting energy between the two. And that is the story of Cipactli. Cipactli is the beginning of creation. It is where all creation has come from. And what I find fascinating about this energy, and what I think is exciting about this energy, is we can tap into creation, into the energy of ripping ourselves open, right? Rumi says you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens, right? It's about opening up and becoming who we are, birthing into the new world what we want to create. We have the opportunity to create whatever it is that we want. And many of us are in a place of creating something new, of creating a new reality, a new world. Many of us talk about the new world, the new earth, the new lifestyle, the new energy that we want to live in and participate in. So these 13 days are a period of tapping into that energy. What is it that we want to create? What is it that we want to bring forth into this creation? And as I said, there is lots of new energy. This veintena is the veintena. It's known as the Festival of the Lords, the Great Festival of the Lords. And who are the Lords? A lot of this mythology, a lot of these stories are all in reference to astrological events. So the Lords in this case are Regulus and Sirius. They're star systems. They're stars that are very potent during this time. And so that's what the festival is about. That's what these energies are about. And so we're beginning a new 20-day period, which is all about this fire energy. We're in this Leo energy, this heat. This is the time to create, right? What happens if you live in alignment with the cycles of nature, if you live in alignment even with the seasons, right, with the spring, summer, fall, winter, the summertime is the time when we are most energetic. The sun is the strongest. We feel that fire energy, that solar energy on us, and it fuels us, right? It gives us lots of energy to create. And so this is the perfect time for us to tap into that energy of creation. What are we choosing to create? How are we choosing to create? This new moon in Leo is all about showing up as our true selves, becoming authentic, stepping into our true power. And so when we tap into all of these energies, and that's the beauty of it. One of my teachers of the Aztec calendar, Maestro Hugo Nawi, has mentioned before that he loves learning about all different calendars, all ways of measuring or dividing up time, right, of counting time. It's all interesting because everyone has its different aspects, and the more we know, the more we are tapped into it, the more we can align with these energies. And as I said earlier, instead of resisting, we flow with them. So in this energy of Cipactli, this 13-day period, I invite you to tap into your inner creativity, what you're willing to bring out into the world, what you're willing to offer into the world. And I think one of the interesting things about this creation story is the story also of Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca, because this is again the light and the shadow battling it out, right? And so as we step into the world, as we show ourselves as our regal royal selves during this Leo energy, how are we tending to our shadow as well? How are we allowing our shadow to come out? How are we honoring our shadow, right? Because we don't create without light and dark. We don't create without life and death, right? On the other side of life is death. On the other side of death is life. So without destroying Cipactli, we would not have this creation, right? We would not have this existence. So it's important to bring balance by honoring our light and our dark. And one of the things for me especially has been over the course of my healing journey is honoring the dark parts of my experience, honoring the difficulty in my experience. There was a lot of difficulty. There was a lot of darkness on my journey. And for example, Danny and I have this coaching business now where we help couples and we help them integrate, we help them we coach them through the difficulties of relationship. Relationship is one of the most powerful healing journeys that there can be. Your romantic relationships are a healing journey as well. And because we've been through so much darkness, it allows us to hold space for couples when they come and they share their stories. I like to say there's nothing that you can possibly tell us that would shock us, because we've been through so much. We've truly gone through some of the darkest things you can imagine. So this is how I honor that, right? That darkness has gotten me to where I am now. That darkness has gotten me to these places of immense bliss and joy and gratitude and abundance. So how can we honor the darkness, right? Without the darkness, there is no creation. Without this Catlipoca chopping off his foot and helping Quetzalcoatl defeat Cipactli, we would not have creation. So it's important to honor the darkness as well. And also empathize with the darkness when it wants to be heard, right? Sometimes we have this tendency to suppress our shadow. Oh no, you're acting up. I don't want anybody to know that part of me, to hear that part of me. My husband and I have this playful, we've kind of gotten into this habit of like, oh, my ego just said this. My ego wants to say that, or my ego feels this way. And it's honoring the shadow parts of ourselves, right? The parts of ourselves that want to be heard, that want the attention, that want the validation. And if we suppress that and try to spiritualize it to say, oh no, I'm not like that, I would never have those thoughts, then we're suppressing it. And what you suppress, what you don't express, you suppress, is what Danny says. And so it's going to come out somehow, right? So you have the option of giving it a voice yourself, of having a way, giving it a space, creating a safe space for your shadow to express itself, for you to empathize with your shadow. Yeah, I want to be heard sometimes. I want to be validated. I want the attention sometimes. And when we start allowing our shadow to express itself, we make space for the ideas it has, because our darkness has great ideas. This Catlipoca had a fantastic idea of how to get Cipactli out of the water so that it could be defeated, right? And so this is the great lesson and something to keep in mind for the next 13 days. How can we honor both our light and our dark during this period in order to bring forth new creation into the world? How can we give a voice to our shadow so that whatever we create doesn't have this hidden layer underneath that's being suppressed and ready to burst out at any moment, right? When we honor both sides, both our light and our dark, we can create with safety, with a solid foundation. So that is the energy update for this new Trecena, this next 13-day period. I hope you guys are all basking in this delicious Leo energy, this solar energy, that you're in your regal, royal selves and showing yourselves. It's time to show up for this new creation, for this world that we want to bring forward. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I will be back in 13 days to share the next Trecena update. And you know, Danny and I are working on sharing a lot more content now. We are really diving deep into this energy, this Leo energy of showing ourselves, of stepping into our power, stepping into what we wish to share with the world. So we hope you're doing the same. Have a beautiful day, a wonderful Trecena, and yeah, we'll see you around. Bye.